In the embrace of the farthest oceans, where the whispers of civilization are drowned by the roar of waves, lie two islands veiled in legend and lore. One, known as Aya, and its counterpart Paya, have cradled an extraordinary tale of wealth, harmony, and eventual turmoil. This is their chronicle. On Aya, among a symphony of waterfalls and the serene flow of rivers, thrived the Sox, a people bonded not by mere geography, but by a shared spirit of unity. Aya was their sanctuary, a land generous with its bounty, offering everything from the gold that slept beneath its skin to the abundant plant life that adorned its surface. Gold, the heart desire of many beyond these islands, was the Sox' humble currency. Crafted into coins by their leader Saka, these tokens of prosperity fueled not greed, but cooperation. In this community, wealth circulated freely, without the burden of interest, binding them in a cycle of mutual support. Life on Aya was not without its trials. Tidal waves and fierce winds would often challenge their resolve, tearing at the very fabric of their homes. Yet, it was in these moments of adversity that their unity shone brightest, as they came together to mend what was lost, ensuring that their sanctuary remained a testament to their resilience. In this corner of the world, untouched by the clamor of distant lands, the Sox of Aya lived a life many would yearn for, a life of harmony, deeply rooted in the treasures of their land and the strength of their bonds. But as the sun sets on the tranquil life of Aya, shadows begin to stir on the horizon. For every paradise has its serpent, waiting in the wings. Stay with us as we delve deeper into the Aya and Paya Chronicle, where the tale of two islands unfolds a story of how wealth can turn to dust and harmony can face the tests of time and human desire. As we drift from Aya's golden shores, a different rhythm of life unfolds on the island of Paya. Here, under the watchful eyes of the aged leader Taka, the Talks nurture the land with a simplicity that harks back to the dawn of time. In Paya, every hand shapes the land. Rice fields stretch like green quilts. Cows, sheep, and poultry dot the landscape, a testament to their agrarian way of life. Some among them are artisans, their hands weaving the fabric of their community with items forged from the heart. Unlike their neighbors, the Talks have woven a tapestry of life unmarred by the glitter of gold. Barter, the exchange of soul for soul, handiwork for handiwork, binds them. Yet, beneath this simplicity, a quiet yearning stir. The Talks gaze upon Aya, seeing a mirror not of envy but of wonder. Their admiration for the Sox' prosperity is eclipsed only by their love for gold, especially the radiant jewels crafted by Sox hands. An admiration not driven by the desire for wealth, but for the beauty encapsulated in every piece. Though the concept of money remains alien to them, the Talks' exchanges with the Sox have sown seeds of curiosity and respect. Two worlds, each unique, yet bound by an invisible thread of mutual appreciation and unspoken dreams. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a golden glow over both Aya and Paya, one can't help but ponder the delicate balance of their coexistence. What lessons can we draw from their harmony and their differences? Into the tranquil life of Aya, under the wide embracing sky, came two voyagers from distant lands, Jajo and Sajo. Cloaked in the richness of their travels, they carried with them stories of worlds beyond the horizon. The Sox, with hearts as open as the sea, welcomed these strangers. A spark of curiosity ignited as Jajo and Sayo unfurled tales of their journeys, revealing treasures unknown to the islanders. Among these treasures were gold coins from realms far away and scrolls of paper, a curious kind of money adorned with images of bananas, the island's cherished fruit. Such was the allure of these paper currencies that even the air seemed to hold its breath. But what truly ensnared the Sox wonder was a device of strange magic, a machine that could print this paper money. Never before had their eyes beheld such a marvel, a creation that spun wealth from the mere press of a lever. Moved by the generosity of spirit and the promise of untold mysteries, the Soks embraced Jajo and Sajo, inviting them to become part of their community. In the eyes of the islanders, these men were not merely guests, but bearers of a new dawn. As the day folded into the night, a new chapter in the tale of Aya and Paya began to weave itself, one of intrigue, of wonder, and perhaps of caution. For with every gift comes a shadow, and with every shadow, a story untold. In a land where gold once slept silently beneath the earth, a revolution stirred, guided by the hands of Jajo and Sajo. With words as their tools and vision as their compass, they painted the future of Aya with the concept of a bank. A bank, they said, is not merely a vault. It's a beacon of prosperity, transforming idle gold into the seeds of tomorrow's harvest. Their words, like the gentle currents of Aya's rivers, nurtured the hopes of the Soks, a beacon indeed, for those who sought to aid their brethren. And so, brick by brick, hope by hope, the first bank of Aya rose from the ground. Within its walls is a vault of promise, safeguarding not just gold, but the dreams of an entire community. As the Soks entrusted their treasure to this novel institution, the air was thick with the scent of change. Gold, once a silent witness in the dark, now whispered of opportunity and growth, weaving the fabric of a new economic dawn. Yet, as the sun casts its golden rays upon Aya, one wonders, does the dawn of prosperity come without its shadows? For every light cast, a shadow follows, and within it, the seeds of unforeseen consequences. Amidst a tapestry of joy and communal spirit, the people of Aya came together to mark the dawn of an unprecedented journey. A banquet laid under the stars, laughter mingling with the music, celebrated not just a bank, but a transformation. As gold coins, the legacy of their ancestors found a new home within the bank's vault. Each depositor was handed a piece of the future, paper money. Emblazoned with the visage of their leader Saka, beside the beloved banana tree, this paper symbolized trust, community, and innovation. Saka, his heart swelled with pride, witnessed his people stepping into a new light, their eyes wide with wonder and arms open to the possibilities that lay ahead. Gone were the days of cumbersome gold coins. The people of Aya now traded with paper, light as the breeze that swept their island, yet strong with the promise of prosperity. 100,000 pieces of gold transformed into 100,000 hopes carried on paper wings. But with every step forward, the path twists and turns. As Aya navigates this new chapter, one must ponder, what ripples will this sea of paper money send across the tranquil waters of their lives? The winds of change, once a gentle breeze on Aya, swelled into a gale that touched every corner of the island. Paper money, birthed from the ingenuity of Jajo, became the lifeblood of commerce, rendering gold a relic of the past. This newfound ease, this liberty in trade, was cradled in the palms of trust. Trust that the gold would always be there, mirrored in the respect and reverence the community bestowed upon Jajo and Sajo. Meanwhile, across the waters, the people of Tox, eyes wide with wonder, saw hope on their horizon. A hope kindled by Jajo and Sajo, who, with smiles as bright as the dawn, promised to weave the same magic in Paya. In Paya, where gold is scarce, dreams shall not be tethered, Sayo proclaimed, offering a bounty of 1,000 banknotes to each family. A gesture not of charity, but of unity and faith in a shared future. But in this moment of jubilation, a question lingers like the last star at dawn. What value holds a promise when the promise is all one has? In Paya, the dawn of paper money was akin to the unveiling of a new world. Sajo's announcement that each of the 100 families would embrace a future built on 1,000 banknotes set the stage for an unprecedented era of growth. Gone are the days of stressful bartering. The magic of banknotes enabled them to blaze trails in their chosen crafts, stimulating an economic renaissance. However, with the dawn of prosperity came a year later the twilight of payment. the looming shadow of 1,100 notes per household. Now, Jajo and Sajo decided that it was time to do what was needed. Jajo noticed that in Aya, the people of Souks recovered only 10% of the deposited gold on average at all times, and 90% remained in the bank's vaults. As the people of Paya revel in their newfound prosperity, and Aya basks in the glow of trust and unity, the architects of this new world order poised themselves at the brink of a decision that would redefine the very essence of wealth and risk. Jajo noticed that the printed papers worked like cash, so he printed 900,000 additional papers that worked like money. Jajo calculated that the additional papers, totaling 1 million, would be unpaid, and if they wanted to get the 10% back, the original 100,000 deposited gold would be ready for recovery. Jajo loaned these additional 900,000 papers to some needy Souks at a 15% interest rate. 1 million pieces of paper now coursed through the marketplace, mimicking the lifeblood of trade, yet veiled in illusion. As dawn broke, the Souks found themselves embroiled in a morass of confusion. The air, once filled with the scent of prosperity, now carried whispers of dread. Prices rose as if wings had sprouted under them. Discontent began to take root. Inflation began. For some, the dream of relief turned to ashes as they toiled, yet found themselves shackled by debts they could not shed. The promise of paper wealth, now a mirage, led not to solace but to desperation. And so, as the tide of commerce swelled, the essence of Aya's community ebbed away. A society once marked by its unity and benevolence found itself adrift, caught in the undercurrents of a relentless pursuit for more. In this new era of paper and gold, of wealth and dust, the soul of Aya whispers a poignant question. At what cost does progress come? And can the spirit of a people withstand the tempest of change? As the sun set on Paya, the glimmer of paper wealth dimmed beneath the growing strain of a newfound economic order. The Tox people, once united by shared values and mutual support, now found themselves navigating a sea of rising prices and shifting sands of camaraderie. The bonds that tied the community began to fray as the specter of debt loomed large. Hard work, no longer a guarantee of stability, led to disillusionment. The once distant notion of competition infiltrated the very fabric of their lives, seeding discord among brothers. Sacho, the arbiter of this new economic paradigm, commenced the somber task of reclaiming real wealth. Land and livestock, the very essence of Tox livelihoods, were forfeited in the face of unpaid debts. Among those ensnared was Taka, their venerable leader, a symbol of the pervasive reach of this crisis. Yet, in a gesture of leniency or perhaps strategy, Sajo extended a lifeline to Taka and others, offering respite through further indebtedness. A cycle of debt, now spinning with renewed vigor, casting shadows of uncertainty over Paya. As the threads of Paya's societal tapestry are pulled taut, one cannot help but ponder, is the price of economic growth a sacrifice of communal harmony? And what happens when the very foundation of a community is leveraged against its future? In the shadow of prosperity, a somber reality unfolded on the islands of Aya and Paya. Taka, once a beacon of strength and leadership, found himself ensnared in a cycle of debt and despair, his pride and dignity eroding like the shores under the relentless tide. Avoidance became Taka's refuge. His encounters with Sajo, reminders of a stature lost. Shame cloaked him like a shroud, as the vestiges of his authority dissolved into the ether. Contrastingly, Sajo ascended. His wealth burgeoned on the pillars of others' forfeitures. The land, the livestock, the very essence of both islands' riches, now lie in his grasp. The dignity and authority once wielded by Taka had found a new custodian. Jajo and Sajo, erstwhile strangers to these shores, wielding nothing but a printing press, had woven their destiny into the fabric of Aya and Paya. The islands, rich in culture and community, now bore witness to a new order, where freedom was but a memory, and poverty a stark reality for many. As the sun sets on the saga of Aya and Paya, we are left to ponder the true cost of unchecked ambition and the fragile nature of prosperity. In their quest for wealth, have Jajo and Sajo not only reshaped the islands, but also the very soul of its people. As the twilight of our tale descends, the islands of Aya and Paya, once cradles of community and tranquility, stand altered. The relentless pursuit of prosperity has woven a fabric of hardship, stretching over the daily lives of its inhabitants. Days, once filled with the warmth of family, the solace of friendship, and the peace of spiritual observance, have been usurped by the ceaseless toil for survival. The communal spirit that once defined these islands has been eclipsed by a tide of social maladies. Amidst the burgeoning shadows of poverty, crime, and lost virtues, a profound cultural shift unfolds. The introduction of a divisive hierarchy by Jajo and Sajo has eroded the bedrock of equality and compassion that once upheld these societies, because Jajo and Sajo introduced a new high-class culture of high-class people who belonged to it, and this marked the end of the good, charitable people of the islands of Aya and Paya, who had previously lived a quiet and safe life before Jajo and Sajo arrived with that printing machine. Unsated by their dominion over Aya and Paya, Jajo and Sajo cast their gaze outward, dreaming of a global empire underpinned by a singular bank and currency. Their ambition, boundless as the sea, seeks to reshape the world in their image.